Why do you need yourself a pair of these, or should you even buy them? I have the perfect opportunity to see for myself, are these Bose QuietComfort Ultra noise cancelling headphones going to do a good job on my travels? Let's find out. I'm in a different location today. I'm actually still in Hanoi, Vietnam, and as you can probably tell, there's cars going up and down this street outside here. Hopefully the sounds of these cars won't affect this review too much, but anyway, let's get into it. So I've tried a lot of headphones on this channel, mainly in the gym scenario, but this review is going to be a little bit different. Now, I will be honest, I'm not a good flyer. Flying makes me kind of anxious, all of the noises and the discomfort of it all. But something that gets me through it is just closing my eyes and breathing deeply. Trying my best to just drown out the world helps me really calm down. That loud hum of the engine, children screaming, bongs. Last time I flew, I was using a pair that weren't noise cancelling headphones, and I distinctly remember telling myself that next time I fly, I'm gonna try a pair of noise cancelling headphones. So this trip to Asia of mine was coming up, where I'm gonna be traveling to a total of 3 different countries, and this is gonna involve taking 6 separate flights. So what better opportunity to see if noise cancelling will make a big difference in my comfort. So I got searching for a good pair of headphones to try out, and I honestly wasn't too bothered about which brand. I just wanted to get a decent pair, a pair that many considered to be amongst the best. I did initially want to make this a comparison video, where maybe I'd compare 2 or 3 pairs of headphones, but the problem is that airlines now restrict the amount of devices that I can take, which have a battery in them. So I had to be very strategic, and so taking 3 pairs of headphones meant that I wouldn't have been able to take something like my laptop or my phone or my camera. So realistically, all I could take was 1 pair of headphones. After a bit of researching, I found that Bose headphones are a very common choice for good noise cancelling, and these are a very solid choice from them. It was also the priciest pair in their selection. The QuietComfort Ultras have been out for a while, so I was actually able to get a nice little discount on them too. So that's always a good thing. Now let's get to the unboxing. So when you take these out of the box, the first thing you'll notice about them compared to other Bluetooth headphones is that they only have 2 buttons on them. Where are the volume buttons? These actually have a touch and slide functionality, so instead of pressing a button to control your volume, you just slide your finger along the side here. This has its plus and minus points, which I will get into later. The 2 buttons that they do have are the multifunction button and the Bluetooth button, which of course enables you to pair them to whatever device you want to pair them to. Now the multifunction button does all of the heavy lifting. Like most Bluetooth earbuds these days, you skip forward, you skip backwards, you pause and you play. They are all controlled with this single multifunction button. Double press it to skip forward and triple press it to skip backwards. Nice and simple. You also of course control your calls with this button. Press once to answer a call and twice to end a call. You will get the hang of it. And you have the Bluetooth button to help you connect them to whatever device you want to connect them to. You can connect them to multiple devices, and they claim that they will seamlessly switch between each device. I traveled with my MacBook Pro laptop and my iPhone, so them being able to stay true to this promise will be very important to me. It might not be an important thing for everyone, but for me it is. So what would they like to use? I would say that using them has been interesting. The sound quality has been very impressive, and that is something I expect from Bose headphones. My music sounds clear and the bass doesn't drown out any of the smaller, lower volume percussion instruments that you hear in the music. The earbuds I use as my daily earbuds, I feel like I don't have this level of detail. So when I first put the Bose QuietComfort on, I was quite astonished at the difference in clarity. I loved them from the first moment. Now briefly going into the comfort of these, a good way to know if your headphones are comfortable is simple. Can you wear them for more than an hour and literally forget that they're on your head? There were a few times where, for example, I was wearing them inside my capsule in Japan, watching a movie, and I actually fell asleep with them on. Or there were times when I searched around thinking I'd misplaced them and they were on my head all along. They are no doubt very comfortable to wear. They're not too tight on me and they're not too loose. They fit my head just right with a little bit of adjustment. So when it came to the noise cancelling, another thing that makes these Ultras different or a little bit pricier than the regular QuietComforts is their extra sound settings, mainly focused on the feeling of immersion. The idea with this feature is that it makes you feel like you're listening to the music being played directly in front of you, kind of like you're at a live performance. So even if you turn your head to the left or to the right, you'll still feel like the music is right in front of you. Some would call this a bit of a gimmick. It does sound like a bit of a gimmick, but I did see some uses for it. As I said, this is the main feature that makes these a higher price than the regular QuietComforts, and I will get into what this immersion was like in my conclusion. This feature I think will be a big deal breaker for a lot of people, because like I said, if it doesn't work well and it's just a useless gimmick, people will be more than happy to just buy the cheaper previous model. So I've been using these for more than 4 weeks now. Asia has of course been amazing, and I would say that the noise cancelling functionality has enhanced my trip a lot. There were noisy moments and moments which weren't necessarily noisy, but having absolute silence in those moments really helped me concentrate more. Like of course doing work on the go, using my laptop in an airport terminal, or simply walking around in a gallery. It made a ton of difference. But the question is, what did I find to be the major drawbacks or annoyances from using these headphones? The major drawbacks for me was using these between devices. I don't know if this is Bose's fault or if Apple are up to something here, but using them connected to my iPhone and MacBook Pro laptop, the headphones should switch between each device seamlessly, but they didn't. And sometimes it would take a while to connect or switch. Sometimes it wouldn't at all. So this would mean I'd have to wait for a bit or just turn off the Bluetooth on my phone and then reconnect them. And normally this would be okay, but it did get annoying to have to do that all the time. Let's say I'm on my laptop and someone sends me a video on Instagram on my phone. The video wouldn't always play with sound. This really annoyed me at some moments. I say that I don't know if this is a Bose problem or an Apple problem because my AirPod earbuds are able to switch between my laptop and my iPhone without any problems whatsoever. So I know it's something that can work well. Maybe Apple don't want you using other brands of headphones with their products, or Bose just didn't do a good job. I don't know, but the experience of this feature wasn't as good or as smooth as I know it can be. Another thing that might make people a bit apprehensive about buying these headphones is the lack of the volume buttons in favor of this touch or slide function. I would say that using this slide function to control these headphones wasn't too bad. I prefer using the volume control on the device it's connected to instead of on the headphones because it just comes naturally to me. So this feature hasn't really been used very much by me at all. I did accidentally raise or lower the volume a few times just by adjusting the headphones on my head. If these headphones had buttons like the previous ones did, that probably wouldn't have been a problem. So the touch function might not be for everyone's liking. When I get into the noise cancelling capabilities, I have to say that I was very happy with their performance on the plane. On one of my flights, I literally played a relaxation music playlist throughout the whole flight in the still immersion mode, which made it a little easier for me to conversate with the air hostesses when it came to choose what option of food I was going to have or anything I needed to speak to them about. The extra features or immersion features are definitely a nice touch to have and play around with in different scenarios on my travels. Just like the subway in any country, in South Korea and Japan especially, the subway was very noisy. I did almost miss my stop on the train a couple of times because I didn't hear the announcement of the next station coming. On the streets of Hanoi, Vietnam, I definitely wouldn't recommend using a headphone like this, mainly because when it comes to doing things like crossing the street, you need your full awareness. So please don't use these sorts of headphones if you live in a place with busy roads like Hanoi. For anyone who's considering going for the Bose QuietComfort Ultras, which I'm currently wearing, there's a pair of Sony headphones which are probably the most comparable pair to these, and you've probably considered going for them yourself because they do pop up quite a lot. Now, I was lucky enough to bump into an American guy who has the Sony XM5s in the airport terminal where I am right now, and I went up to him and I just asked him about his experience using the headphones, just to see what his experience has been like, if there's anything concerning about the headphones, because I haven't had the chance to try them for myself. And he actually told me that there's 2 things that concern him. He's had them for 8 months. The first thing is that they're not very comfortable when he wears them for longer periods of time. He said that they get quite tight around his ears. And the second thing he mentioned is that there's a suspicious hum which has developed in the headphone. He doesn't remember it being there when he first got the headphones, but he said that he is actually considering returning them under warranty when he gets back home to America. So I thought that would be something that's worth sharing with you guys. If you are considering going for the XM5s, just remember those 2 things. I'm not saying that happens with every pair, but it's just something that I just heard from someone who actually has them. So overall, I would say that these headphones have been a great companion on my travels. The immersion settings might not be for everyone, but it's been very interesting to play about with them and get a different experience over just the basic noise cancelling. I think that the slide function on the volume wouldn't be for everyone, but that's okay. But like I said, for me, I don't really use the volume control on my headphones, and instead I like to use the volume controls on the device I'm using. One thing I would recommend though is to get yourself an airplane headphone socket, mainly because the headphone sockets on the aeroplane don't accept the regular 3.5mm connections that these headphones come with, and therefore there was no way I could really use my headphones to watch the movies and TV shows offered by the airline. Luckily, I had some episodes of stuff already downloaded on my phone. So for me, noise cancelling headphones are definitely a must for travel, and these headphones are a very good choice. Now, I did say that I would share some other recommendations, and those recommendations are in the description. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.